Welcome back to Tennis Manager episode 54. We wanted to squeeze in a win or two for Martina King here and there, as her form hasn't been perfect, as she's only won once or twice in the whole last year, playing big tournaments all the time and not quite being good enough to compete. Right? She's always at the edge of the top 10, 11, 13 in recent months. She's down to 11 at the moment, but still seeing 10 for this tournament, as that just happened post Wimbledon. All right, Palermo, 250, winnable type tournament, especially when you see the number one overall player get knocked out in the very first round. Gives us a bit of a chance. That's going to clear up a path to get past, as long as you can get past Katrina Scott and Bartkova, you've got a path to the finals. First round opponent outside of the top 100 was an easy 6-1, 6-4 win. Fifth time out of 5 attempts, we've beaten Angelica Rara 6-2, 6-4 onto the third round. Rara was the toughest opponent of those first 3 rounds, ranked inside the top 50. Otherwise, 6-1, 6-2 again against Giacomo, and looking real strong so far, but we haven't played anybody ranked just yet. The upsets definitely gave us an easy path, and we prevailed quite easily, but now Bartkova is going to be a much tougher test. Bartkova beat us last time we played. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that just last tournament at Wimbledon that Bartkova knocked us off? I believe she was the one. My memory is very fickle. It doesn't take long to fade, especially when you have so much overlapping. You play Bartkova, and then you play Bartkova, and then you play Bartkova. Tournament by tournament, yeah, it slips. Corey Goff, though, and Frufertova, yeah, nothing easy about what's left to try to actually win this tournament, but it's also only a 250 tournament, so who cares? We did beat Bartkova. And it was the tournament before. Okay, it was one tournament prior. Round of 32, 3-round triumph. We're definitely the stronger player and should win. 2 sets is all it took, but it was tiebreakers on each. It was definitely tight. Minus 10 on the winners as well. Unforced errors was only +2. Forced errors is where we controlled the match at +13. Much more winnable match thanks to Linda Frufertova getting the upset over Corey Goff. We are 1 spot above in the rankings. In fact, we're not even that 1 spot above, as we have slipped down to number 11. But she too slipped down to number 12, still just behind us in those rankings. Was ahead of us very recently. Looking at that web, this is kind of getting into that territory of this is where we are. We are just about here. Though my web really isn't quite that strong, but that's competitively. That's my level. Better form. Balanced. It's a final, but it's a 250, so simulate. Not this one, but hey, it's a finals loss. That's okay. 6-4, 6-7, 6-7. 2 tiebreaker losses, 2 very close tiebreaker losses, at a pretty close first set win. We ended up losing overall by just 3 points, 3 winners, and the unforced -4 there as well, but the forced was +5. Pays out decently at 17K. The win would have been nicer, but that should be good for form, you would hope. I've brought King up to a 13 on backhand consistency now that we finally nailed down that double digit on everything. The 3 key attributes for our game plan are top spin, backhand consistency, and forehand consistency. So picking up all 3 of those into the green zone, into that happy zone, is a real strong step towards getting us where we need to be. Serve consistency and a volley would be a couple easy points to get with my next training sessions. I might just do that to have those points. I'd like to push us over the line and get King in position to go start competing, with the top players. And so snagging a few easy points would be good. 500 tournament in Washington, D.C. The 1 seed, second-ranked player already knocked out. We are the 6th seed, number 11. Mira Andreeva, you know what? Actually, now we're on path to go all the way to semis, and Andreeva or Osaka would be the ones we're potentially going to face in that semifinal. We should progress pretty easily unless Bielik in the quarterfinal gives us trouble. 6-1, 6-1 in the first. Second round, also easy, 6-2, 6-4, cruising along. Third round might be a little bit closer, but I think we're hitting a point where we should be winning most of these matches. I say that as we then go and lose 3-6, 3-6. I did say this would be the tougher match. We should not have lost this match, though. It's the quarterfinals. It's an exit. minus 12 on the overall points. We were ahead on winners. We had a mess of a day. Minus 11 on the unforced errors, and got forced into more errors as well with minus 8 there. Likewise, we played the net a lot, didn't play it particularly well, and we were awful in medium rallies. She absolutely dominated the medium rallies. It was pretty close otherwise. 13K, still a decent payout. We also just had our turn of the month, so we're sitting on 450K. I think one of the things that could help now that we've kind of come to grips with, hey, better staff is having better results for the team. They are performing better. They are progressing better. We want to improve the staff. The best way to do that is improve the star rating of the academy. Finances are kind of doing okay. I don't need to necessarily focus on making money. I think we need to get to that 3-star reputation and kind of push on from there. So I'm going to look and see if there's any cheap upgrades. Things we can get into. I mean, the stores would be something. It's positive money, but it's not like it's a big bonus. Plus 12K, 6. You're only making 6K more. And are we actually making that? Not really. Nothing cheap in the youth and scouting, but there is on a little bit on the cheaper side. Sports and study programs, which will make us some money. But again, the cost is half, so you're really only bringing in 8K, not 16. And quality of staff and notoriety of players being a factor means, that's not necessarily going to go well. And that's been that regular problem for us, right? The gains you're making are kind of half gains. Now, here's a cheap one that could make us $1,000. It'll pay for itself, and it'll bring our medical center rating up by 6%, which, I don't know, what would that be? A 4.0? Is that... Are we going to get a 0.6 for that? I would think you might. It's probably out of 10. That looks to be about a third of the way full. And we are making more money than we are... no, that's the max. Are we actually making more money? We might be. This is kind of what I'm talking about right now, though. It's not going to cost us more. It should at least come out neutral and could see us in a better position rating-wise. Medical center. Likewise, we've got a cheap one down here with the weight room. Oh, we've got a really cheap one on the track. That's got to unlock interval training and sprints for limited cost. I'm going to invest in that, and I'm going to go invest in the medical center psychology department. We'll start with those two. I think between the two, it should just about offset on cost. I think it'll end up costing a hair more, but 2 more upgrades to our facilities can give us a bit of a boost, hopefully. And maybe push us that next half star and be able to upgrade another staff member or 2 early next season or late this season. Cross made a nice little run in a 100 tournament, but she lost in the semis. Next up, a 1K tournament premiere in Toronto. King 11, all the big time players are here. And there's nothing easy. First round, second round, both looking tough. Third round, looking like a Rybakina matchup, especially with Kruger and Valentova as the other would-be opponents. So nothing easy. First round, second round, all of the above. 6-2, 6-3, though. We do take care of business in the first. I mean, we should take care of business in the first 2 rounds, but definitely not a given, like, of late. Anybody outside of the top 50, where we used to be, we should beat them more often than not. Now we should just beat them every time. Looky here, we're already starting to see a lot of unseeded players, though Badosa's 17th. Whoa, Rybakina is through. Layla Fernandez, the opponent now. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. If we can make that third round, though, I'll be happy with that. Fernandez, 3 sets, but we get the win. Rybakina beat us 4 out of 4 times. Very strong on the web, outside of the net play. Really difficult match. We have made just enough progress, though. We're now looking at it being balanced, just still an outsider, clear outsider, and probably going down here. No, we got the first win head-to-head against Rybakina. That's going to give us a nice little deeper run and help us start to recoup some of what we just spent, down to 280K there, plus 14 on the winners. Overall points was plus 5. Very close 3-set victory here. Net points, yikes, we got hammered on that. It's amazing. We pulled this thing off. Unforced errors was -4. Forced errors was -4. It's the +14 on total winners that did it for us today. We were neutral or just ahead in all forms of rally. Doesn't get any easier though. Sabalenka is our quarterfinal matchup with Badosa and Goff. The potentials for the semis. Meanwhile, at the bottom end of the bracket, it's all. I mean, Badosa is the only unseeded one, but she's 17th. She's one spot outside of the seedings. Every single player remaining is top 17. Sabalenka, only 3 times we've played, and we did manage to win one of those. She's both better and worse. She's a little more balanced than Rybakina, and only dominant in forehand. So the plus is more balanced. The minus is really good in forehand, but Rybakina was pretty strong in 3 categories, where she's only got the one that really stands out. Tough match. Gonna take a great performance. That makes sense. Being more balanced, and it's happened. There's our great performance. 6-4, 6-3. Fantastic. Martina is king. Doing the hard work. +13 on winners, level on unforced, and +2 on the forced. So again, 2 times in a row, hitting the winners. That little bit more consistency, that little bit more technically is starting to pay off, and we're starting to get the occasional or more frequent. I'd say more frequent, right? We were already getting occasional. Now we're getting the more frequent win against the top players, and I think consistently we're playing at a higher level than before. This is good. But Goff in the semis and a 2-3 opponent. We're definitely the outsider now, but we're in great position. We've got ourselves 390 points for the semis. We've got 326k prize money at this point. That would be going towards king. So we're looking at more than 30,000, right? Probably about 40k if we go out in this round. And we're 2-1 against Goff. And this is, again, very balanced, very strong, very good overall. Her exceptional part being the return and the backhand. Very tough player to beat. Again, it's going to be a tough match, but 2-1 all time. 2-28, won this year in Abu Dhabi, and 2 of 3 matches going to 3 sets. We're going to play the final. Wow. 6-4, 6-7, 7-5. Very close. Just edging her out. 7-point victory. +10 on winners. On forced errors, not quite there at a -5, but the forced errors helped offset that with a +4. This time, didn't go to the net as much, and much more consistent when we did. Nava also getting a semifinal win, so we're going to have 2 players in the academy in finals today, and it's Brenda Frufortova, the number 2 player in the world, who we're going to have to play in the final. But we've beaten 4, 5, and 6, if I'm not mistaken, to get there. 4, 5, and 6, and Goff, and 31 and 39 along the way, every single match against a top 50 opponent. But now it's number 2. And Brenda Frufortova has beaten us 5 of 5 times, all 5 matches from last season to this season, 2 at the promising finals, including the final. So she was the one who was the top of our group. We were second in the group. We took second in the group, barely coming through, and then made it to the final, and Frufortova beat us there. So, and she beat us handily. Straight sets, 3 sets. And she's beaten us every single time. The other 3 matches, right, outside of the promising finals, were all 2 sets, straight sets. Didn't matter when it was. This is going to be incredibly hard. Last loss was the Australian Open at the beginning of the year. That was 3 tournaments almost back to back to back there. Very balanced, very even. Not dominant in anything, though. But she's somehow pulling a very, very, very high rank despite not excelling. She's just very good at everything. Tough match. It's going to take a great performance. Is a final. Would be our biggest victory, right? Have we won a 1,000 yet? I know we've won a 500. I think our other more recent win was a 250. So I think the only thing missing is a 1K and a slam, or any of the higher world stuff. The promising finals or just the finals. A 1K final in Toronto gets underway with first point. Really well played. Very quick short rally. Had a good serve that pulled her off the line, and then a mistake there puts us in the driver's seat for this first game. Ooh, double fault. Just missing the line. Just missing the line again. Very close, both of them. Oh, why'd you let that go? Stepped right over it. But you can see Forvatova's power. She hits the ball with a lot more force than we did. Mistake there sets us up for the potential for the game, 40-30. And there it is. First game. So we're not going home skunked, but Forvatova's got to be the favorite. However, both are thrilled, and she's tired. She is well below that 50%. She broke us. We nearly broke her back, but didn't, so we're trailing 2 games 3 right now. 2 games 4. Pulling 1 pack. Another chance to break. This time we succeed. Now it's 4-4, and now we've got that real chance, especially when you look at how she's doing there. And at 5-4, it's coming very close, but she's 1 point away from drawing level at 5. I think we might be heading to a tiebreaker the way things are going. We'll take it at a moderate pace now for the rest of this set. Oh, so close there, but it misses. Just the very next point as well was incredibly close, but just missing. Correct calls, I think. And hers just in, again, with the correct calls. We need this. It's deuce. Oh, come on. Just wide again. King. 3. Barely missing. Can't afford to have that. Can't afford to have that if you're going to play the number 2 player in the world and pull a victory. But our quality is definitely getting better. I mean, that's our better quality right there. No. We're starting to see 13s, right? You add a +2 to a 13. 15's getting into that acceptable level. Deuce. Nice. Oh, that was only for deuce? I thought that was... Right, we just skied one. Advantage. Back to the advantage. Deuce. Oh, come on. Easy ball to get to. I mean, easy for somebody of her physical qualities. Advantage. Another mistake. Again, trailing. Numerous break points faced here. Oh, big mistake. Down 6-5. I think we just lost the set. Her own little mistake there, just missing and hitting the net. She gets that next winner though, but we're up. And up again. Break point. Wow. Didn't think we would be able to break her to get back in, but we've seen both of them very capable of breaking the other, right? That was, what, 4 games? 4 games out of the 12 they've played. Ended up in a break. Great first point. Her turn to serve now. We did get to serve first, just the first point. Oh, how'd she reach that? There's no lunge or anything. I have no idea how she reached it. I have no idea how I'm reaching it. We're seeing a lot of quality from both, but the first 2 points are ours, and she only serves 1 more here before we get it back for the next 2. So I'm hoping to be 4-1 up. By the end of the 5th point, that one's perfectly on the line. We can't quite reach it. The hope for 2-1 had to do more with the opportunities to serve. And we now have back-to-back opportunities. Obviously, we've got to take at least one of them. And we dropped that one. Under hit it. Hit the net. It nearly pops over the top. It was very much at the top rope, but it came back. We lose them both. Lost them both. Now we're in trouble. And she gets... Ooh! I lucked out. I think that caught the line. Harsh call for her. Lucky for us. We don't get to claim that very often. That one definitely caught the line. We're playing well now. We're suddenly on the front foot for this point. And she's undercuts that. Ends up into the net. And into the net again. Right off the serve. And it's 5-3. 6-3. Set point. And we'll have multiple set points here. I'm on the back foot for this point, though. But it's her serve. There we go. She's attacking the net, though. Oh, I got it over her, but couldn't keep it in. 6-4. She serves another. Yikes. She got me on that serve. That was a brilliant serve. We were lucky to get that back over the net at all. 6-5, but we serve. Still set point. Now's the time we need it. And got it. We win the first set.
Second set.
Very close. Very close indeed. And remember, she is freaking tired. I think that's the only thing that has given me a fairly level slate right now. I don't think it's pushed me ahead. I think it's made it about level, right? Physically, mentally, we're probably the same or close to the same. Maybe I'm slightly ahead. But technically, she's got a good advantage. We're up 4 games love. We're up 4 games love. It's about to be 5. Or is it? It is. It is. We're on the verge. And I think she's fallen below that other mark to where it's not just a little bit of mistakes. It's a lot of mistakes. We're going to win this thing. We're going to win a 1K tournament.
40.
Or are we? It's match point now. A second match point. 30-40. That one might have actually worked too. Like if it were in, I'm not sure if she hits that ball. It was kind of right past the ear, just above the shoulder. That's a hard place to hit a ball and to hit clean. Ooh, just out again. I don't know. We might be in for it just yet. Yeah, weak sauce there. Soft ball right down the middle. Yikes, that's asking for it. First serve looked good, but her second serve was fine. It was basically the same. Wow. Great ball there. Had so much spin on that thing. It just came to a halt. And just over the net. That's a good call. That's a good call. That was in. Back to trailing. And, we'll be serving here in just a moment. Big mistake there. I'm starting to get fatigued, too. This is a hard match. She's just straight up dying out there, and that's what's making the difference. I think when it was the first stage fatigue, it evened us out. Now that she's into the lowest stage and really feeling it, it's given us a much better shot. She had service there, so she had the advantage of service, but it took her forever to claim that game from us. I think we're probably going to get this game pretty easy and seal the victory, the highest of our career. Wait. Hasn't happened yet. Don't celebrate. 30 love. Yeah, see, she can't reach. She can't reach. 40 love. Good first serve. This should be a winner soon. We didn't take advantage of it, though. We allowed her to kind of stay in. We're playing down the middle. But there's the mistake. The inaccuracy. The win. A 1K tournament victory. That's going to get me into the top 10, I would think. Especially when we're only 1 spot shy. Ooh, 100,000 almost. 100,000. When you add in Nava's 8K, he lost the final, but that's okay. Back to 430,000, just like that. Just like that, we're back up. Yes, that is our first 1,000 tournament. We've only won 1,500 and only won 250. Didn't realize that we only had one of those. It was the 125s that we were starting to cruise through. 1-3, like back to back to back, and then moved on. I think we played one since then, which we lost. The 125s. That's Nava. That's his high end. I feel like I should be leveling up here again pretty soon. 3 slams this year. We made the round of 16 in all 3 of them. The US Open last year, was a first round exit. So we're definitely going to look to better that here in the very, very, very near future. We're just 3 weeks away now from Wimbledon, and we're about to turn the day. So really just 2 weeks away from Wimbledon. That's going to be the next tournament. I know, Wimbledon. The U.S. Open. Heading to New York. But yeah, there's that very first. In fact, we'd only made one semifinal prior as well. Big 1,000 points. And I definitely think that's going to bring us up into that top 10. Right? Definitely feels like it. I mean, that's 1,000 points. We're sitting at 3,300, so that's going to be a very big bump. Prize money now topping $5 million. Wow. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.